Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Today is the requirements for the project. Sorry, I was so late on posting them. I meant to post it yesterday and I was busy setting them up. So, as a result of that, I pushed the project so that it's due later. So, you have extra time. Don't worry about that. So, let's go ahead and get started with our requirements. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below your plan, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another video from me. Okay, so let's go ahead and all right, requirements for our project. So your project will be due on June 25th as a result of me being late uploading them. Our last video for this unit will be on June 29th, and that includes we will be emptying our art bags because we are getting a new art bag I won't review until the start of the new unit. We are also taking down our Anne Frank painting. We're removing it from the canvas because the canvas will have a new thing that will go up there, which for our next unit, we're going to be doing a sculpture. So our sculpture, we can probably put on the other side of the canvas. We just need to take this painting off, and then we can put the canvas around and put our sculpture there. All right, but you guys will be doing your sculpture independently, not me. So I will have the materials for it. So that's that. Folks who have the project modified, I will come up with a modified rubric and post it in my community post right after this. I will probably be a little bit late on posting it since it takes work, but all I have to do is just type it out. So typing it out shouldn't take too long. It's just like reducing the requirements for that and then posting it in my community post. So I will likely have it up 2 or 3 in the morning. I will be up doing that. Or probably in the morning before everyone wakes up since I've been up early. All right, that's that. Let's take a look at our first requirements. So to conclude our unit on Anne Frank, you will create a comic panel showing the beginning to the end of the book's plot. Now, first of all, you're going to be picking a theme. Now, that theme, like an example, you choose fear and survival. That theme you're going to be sticking with through the beginning to the end of this book's plot. Now, you're probably asking, how am I supposed to cover the whole entire plot of this book into comic panels? And your comic panels are limited. You're given a layout and a certain amount of comic strips. So how are you going to cover the whole plot? Stick to the end. I'm going to cover that at the end of the video on my document camera, and I will cover examples of comic panels in here. So stick to the end of the video for that to be answered. And you are picking one of these themes and you are sticking with it through the end of the video. So there's hope during difficult times, even while hiding during World War II, and tries to stay hopeful and believe in the goodness of people. Growing up in self-discovery, Anne changes from a young girl into a more mature teenager and learns a lot about herself. Fear and survival, which I think this is the most relevant in the book. The people in the secret annex live with constant fear of being discovered by the Nazis. Family relationships, Anne experiences conflicts and connections with her parents and sister while living in a small, crowded place, or split, space. Friendship and human connection. The people hiding together depend on one another for support, and Anne develops a close relationship with Peter. Freedom versus confinement. Anne dreams of being outside and living normally, but she is forced to remain hidden and isolated. So you're picking one of those themes, and the requirement is you're sticking with that theme and you're covering the whole entire plot. This final is worth 15 points. So let's go over some examples of some themes after we go over the requirements. Now this is due on June 25th at 1 p.m. All right, expectations and rubric. So your title is on the top of the page and you must include the dates on top. By dates, I mean these that you see throughout the book on every single page. You see so for example, this is Sunday, July 12th, Wednesday, and then there's another date here, September 2nd, 1942. I don't know if you can see that, but every page must include the date. Trying to find one that just has one date, but it seems to have two dates as it's in like a range of dates. So yeah, no page has just one date on it. I think because most of these happen, oh yeah, here. Most of them happen within a range of dates, not just one date. But this one says Wednesday, March 10th, 1943. And then this one, Friday, March 19th, 1943. So you can do it like that or in a range of dates. All right, let's. Panels, maximum of 20 panels, must use layout given. I will give you a layout, which is a later slide. Text, all panels must include captions. All panels must include speech and thought bubbles. Text contributes to the plot, characters, feelings, etc. Rubric, use at least 3 transitions, moment to moment, action to action, subject to subject, scene to scene, aspect to aspect, non sequitur. Or is it what action, action? All right, graphic weight. Every panel must have a background, midground, foreground in color. Each panel must be in color. All panels use strong graphic weight / visual contrast. Now, you can, if you're confused on graphic weight bit, because our notes covered graphic weights are in black and white. Graphic weights are also in color, so go ahead and look those up, how you can use a graphic weight in color and show that in your comment. And then characters, clear use of varied facial expressions, endemata, body language, etc. So if you don't know what endemata is, go back to our notes, that covers it. To communicate emotion and experience. Consistency in how characters are drawn from one panel to the next. If you must use stick figures, it must be done with intent and clear identifiable characteristics. So if you have to do stick figures, make sure to draw them with intent and not sloppy. All right, examples of themes you cannot copy. Hope can help people endure even the hardest situations. Growing up involves learning who you are and what you believe. Fear affects how people think and act when their lives are in danger. Family relationships can be both challenging and supportive. Human connections help people cope with different or difficult circumstances. Freedom is something people often appreciate most when it's taken away. So these are 6 examples. You cannot copy any of these. You must think of one on your own. If I see any of these, then we're getting a 0. Automatic 0 if it's any of these. All right, your comic layout. You are using 6 of these squares and 8 of these bigger squares. And then 6 of these rectangle-ish stretched out squares or rectangles. All right, where are you submitting? You're submitting to this channel right here that's open and print final project submission. It will close on the 25th. And then the Discord server link, this expires in 7 days. So if it expires, I will put it in my community post. But I will, of course, take that link away once the project is passed. how will I be grading? I will send you a comment below your submission with your rubric and what you did well on. This is the rubric I will be following. This is a Canvas rubric, so I'll be following this. So meets, approaches, below, needs improvement. I'll be following this exact rubric. I take a look at yours. Really quick as a guide. For the remainder of the video, I will quickly skim through the book to show you what the comic squares are like. Show you an example on the whiteboard on how you can set yours up. You cannot copy, and I'm just helping you, guide you. And then that's it for today. For help, you can leave me a message in the general channel and say, I need help. So, let's go ahead and switch to the document camera. And first of all, before the whiteboard, I will go ahead and show you how you're covering the plot in your comic. To help us with this, I'm going to be writing on the whiteboard as well. I'm going to use this for a second to map the slides. Okay. All right. So let's start with the beginning of the plot. Now, I know there is tons of the beginning, so we will just use one event here. And this is a guide of the plot you cannot copy, of course. So, the beginning of the plot, we see normal life. And you can include what, like a thing or two, what they do in their normal life. So, I would say normal life. What I would say as an event that happened was like Anne getting her diary or something. You can talk about that. Sort of in the middle is when they move into the annex, or when they start noticing changes like Nazi flags all over the place and moving into the annex. That's like sort of in the middle. In the middle would be, so you can use that how you want. You have 20 panels, so you can decide how. Like you can choose to split it in fives with beginning, middle, end, or like half and half, but fives would work better because there's um three plot points. So the middle, I'd say, is annex life, so you can include what they do in there. And then for close to the end, I would say probably them getting caught, I would say. Because they do get caught. Where do they get caught? Because them getting caught is like more towards the middle, towards the end, because there's also like where what happens. after they were caught. So I can't find the exact page. There we go. So they were caught here. And then they were all killed. Or wait. And then the beginning or the end, you could say like, I know this is really tough to think about. And what happens after they get caught. Something like that. But you cannot copy this. This is something you cannot copy. This is a guide to help you out. Now, how would you set your comic strips up? So, like I said, you have 6 of these small squares. Right here. And then 6 of these big squares. These big squares are meant to represent these. All of these that you see, like this one right here, this one right here. They're meant to represent these, so make them this size if you wish, because they're meant to represent those. The rectangles are meant to represent kind of these, but a little bit smaller. Like ones that you see, it's more later into the book. Apologies if it's not. They're meant to represent these, like a little bit smaller. So you have 6 of the small squares. So how would you set these up? Which is a tough question for me because I'm not doing a project with you guys. And of course, you have the title and the dates. I'll let you guys figure that out by yourself. Half and half, I would say, what happens in their life, like their normal life. And then the changes that starts to happen. And then with the 8 big squares, okay, I'll just write here what is it. But with the 8 big squares, I would say talking about moving in and like in. With your last 6 rectangles, I would talk about kind of like before they got caught or like getting caught. What happened after. Something like that. Again, you cannot copy that now that we're done with that, you can copy. If I see you copy that exact layout, then it is an automatic seal. So it will be. So that is now officially it for today. If this was helpful, make sure to comment down below if it was also helpful. Subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications. And lastly, if you need help with any process of this project, then feel free to reach out to me in Discord. You know how. Modified folks, you will have that modified rubric shortly, I hope, in my community post. So look out for a community post. And anything I miss, I will put it in my community post. All right. Good luck with this project. Your test is tomorrow, so hopefully you study up. I still haven't made the test yet, so if I'm late making the test, then it will likely be on the 21st. So I will likely move it to the 21st if I'm late on making that. But it will either be tomorrow or the 21st. If it will only be the 21st if I'm late on. But a lot of the tests will be repeat questions on how we grew in, and then some open-ended questions on you type. So it might take me time to make that because I might be busy tomorrow. So it might be moved on the 21st. I will let you guys know in the community post. Hope you guys studied up, and I will see you guys then. Or tada. Adios.